everyone. Let me say this up front. We have been having some internet issues. So we just gonna trust and believe we're gonna get through this. And I am going to hit the meat and potatoes. This is fake it till you make it. No, I want you to be you and lead like a boss. And let me go live on Instagram. Sit here, that going, and this is going to be all about fake it till you make it. Abso-freaking-lute not. Be you and lead like a boss. Again, we are having some internet things going on. We're going to plow through. We are live. Please don't forget, whatever platform you're watching us on, like and subscribe. Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Today, we are diving into a topic that is definitely near and dear to me, near and dear to many leaders, and that is overcoming imposter syndrome. And you probably have experienced it. Listen, if you have not experienced it, statistics kind of tell us at some point you will. You need the tools to make sure that you are leading like the boss you are, being authentically who you are. As seasoned professionals, you demonstrate your competence and you all have earned your places in your respective fields. Yet, sometimes doubts can just come. It will overshadow us. It will cloud us, and we'll forget about the many accomplishments that we've already made and the accomplishments that we are going to continue to make. Last week, we talked about level up your leadership, essential self-awareness, skills for women. If you missed that, please go back. That's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Wherever you are watching us from, you can definitely either find it on Facebook or go back to YouTube. Our goal today is really to shed a light on why conquering these doubts is critical to your journey as a leader, and how mastering this can make sure that you are growing professionally. It's going to help your professional career trajectory. Our 3 points that we're going to talk about is authenticity in leadership, strengthening your leadership influence, and fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. I normally give a little quick roll call. Listen, if you're catching this live, the replay, let us know that you're here. Let us know what's resonating with you. And I'm going to leave it there because I want to make sure that I'm kind of moving forward, because for whatever the reason, listen, ladies, they do not want you to have this information, but we need you to have this information. And so with that being said, a lot of times I'll talk about a little story. I'm not even going to give you the. Let's talk stats. Imposter syndrome is a significant issue among career women, affecting their self-perception and professional advancement. A KPMG survey from 2020 reported that 75% of female executives have experienced imposter syndrome at some point in their careers. This condition is particularly prevalent among high achieving individuals who are part of minority or marginalized groups. So, Black and brown women, you are affected. 75% of female executives have experienced this in their careers. It manifests through a variety of symptoms, including emotional exhaustion. How many of you are walking around and just like you are emotionally tapped out? That's one of the things. Do you feel burnt out? Are some of y'all out here working Krispy Kreme? Crispy Chris kind of sort of burnt out? That is real. We're talking about burnout. We're talking about where you really like burn out, get to a stage where you cross that threshold of almost no turning back. We do not want you in or near that particular arena. It shows up by decreased job satisfaction. It also shows up in low self-esteem, which particularly can impair your well-being, your overall health, and it can also inhibit performance. We do not want you there. Additionally, there was another study from the Survey Center on American Life indicates that imposter syndrome is especially pronounced among young women in the workforce. So we've already talked about how it's affected female executives. It also affects our younger women. Listen, and younger women in the workforce can be in your 20s, can be in your 30s, okay? And so it can affect you. This particular report said that 43% of young women up to the age 30 or 29 often feel that they are not good enough at their job compared to 30%, 36% of men. This is not men. This definitely, we're not man bashing or anything like that. We're just giving the stats. College educated women also report feeling senses of self-doubt, with 51% feeling like they too are not good enough at their jobs at least once or twice a week, irrespective of their educational achievements. So yes, there are women out there who have college degrees that are feeling like this. There are women out there who have masters that have their doctorates. Listen, this is something that now, with that being said, these findings highlight that women are achieving greater economic and professional success more than ever before. However, they still are dealing with and internalizing the pressure of this imposter syndrome. It still remains a barrier in their career and their professional growth, which can diminish those feelings of self-doubt over time. And what you do need to do is have those supportive relationships, whether they're in the workplace, whether they're at home. You do need supportive relationships. Definitely would say this is where mentors come into play. This is where professional coaches come into play. You need to make sure that you are surrounding yourself around the right village. Now, that to stress some of the statistical data, you also understand you is alone. Listen, ladies, you are not in this alone. And listen, there are men too out there that suffer from this. You all are just not alone. Imposter syndrome is a common phenomenon among leaders. I think it's a common phenomenon among just people in general, which can lead to that. Again, we talked about it earlier, self-doubt, fear of being found out that you're a fraud when you know you're not a fraud. No, you are not a fraud. And yes, this phenomenon will make you feel like you're a fraud when you're not. So if you're out there and you listen, I need y'all to repeat after me. I am not a fraud, period. However, overcoming this syndrome can have a significant impact on your leadership style, empowering you to lead with authenticity and confidence. I want that for you. In an article that I was reading, there were these points, and part of that is going to be what we're going to get into, and that's one. Authenticity, our first point, authenticity in leadership. Authenticity is the heart of leadership. We've spoken about it. If you've ever caught any of my things, and especially when we did a 30-day challenge, I spoke about authenticity. So you can definitely find some of that information. I would probably direct you easier to find it on YouTube, but you want to understand, ladies, you can be authentically who you are. Some ladies may need to have some edges. I mean, you can still be authentically who you are, but we don't want sharp edges because sharp edges cut. And so for you all, again, authenticity is the heart of leadership. When you overcome the fear of being seen as an imposter, you are going to just light up. You will lead with genius. Do you hear me? Once you overcome that fear, you're not just a title, you're a person that cares for. You are a person that is relatable to not just others, but to different communities, to the world. This authenticity fosters trust. It helps to create an environment where your team can be heard. They know that you are listening. It helps them when they can see that you're authentic and your authenticity is shining through. That builds a sense of trust. You know what? She hears me. You know what? She is actually paying attention. Leading with authenticity also means being able to embrace the vulnerability, which can help you to move on a deeper and more profound level. Listen, vulnerability is not a bad thing. Showing vulnerability shows that you're human, and it helps others. When you're able to show that vulnerability, you're able to go to a better place. And while I'm talking, internet is going in and out. So I'm going to look at my team to see how that is coming across. And my team, I don't see anything coming. So I'm looking at my team to see. Okay, 101. We are having technical difficulties. So what we are going to do, because we are really having technical difficulties, I'm going to drop this in the chat. We will post this soon. Having internet issues. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this and send it. I need this information. You do not fake it.